Hello and welcome to Wisdom for Wannabes, a podcast that seeks to discover wise words in business, beauty, and betterment. I'm the host, Jackie Morreale. Today's focus is on the topic of business by way of the field of law. I want to provide a warm welcome to today's guest and my friend, Arielle Barreto. Welcome, Arielle. So good to see your face.
Thanks for having me. I'm very happy to be here.
And as a brief introduction to someone who has accomplished a lot, Arielle Barreto is a multilingual legal professional with over a decade of international experience across corporate law, compliance, and litigation management. She most recently served as associate at a US-based boutique law firm with operations in Latin America, where she advises on corporate governance, contract management, labor and employment law, and e-commerce regulatory matters. I hope I got all that right, by the way.
You're very good in putting light on people, but I feel so special
Oh,
and
I'm so
accomplished.
glad. So well deserved. Known for her ability to function as an in-house counsel from the outside, Arielle excels at aligning legal strategies with business objectives across diverse jurisdictions. With strong cross-border legal insight and fluency in Portuguese, Spanish, and English, Arielle brings a global mindset to every client and case that she supports. Arielle holds a Master of Laws, LLM, from the University of Miami School of Law and a law degree from the Universidade Federal in Uberlândia in Brazil. Did I get that one right?
Yes, Universidade
Yes.
Federal de Uberlândia.
Love it. She is also a published author on topics such as Brazilian tax reform, bioethics, and international arms regulations. Find out more about Arielle Barreto, LLM, at floridabar.org under Foreign Consultants. Whew. You know
Ooh,
so much about stuff that I know nothing about. So I want to be more like you.
no, I want to be like you. It's true. I know Jackie for years, and she's so good in putting light on people and extracting what they have from the best. I feel so accomplished, and oh my God, did I do all of that?
You really did. You're an amazing human being. Let's start with the basics.
Started.
Okay. So I know that Arielle Barreto is your name, but you actually have this wonderfully long name.
I do. I do have a princess name. My mom decided that she needed me to have that long name to
Love
make all
it.
my documents complicated.
Your full name, where you're from, and where you live and work now.
My full name is Arielle Zardo Bernardes Barreto, and I'm from Catalão, Goiás. That it's a very tiny city in the middle of Brazil. I have been living in the US for a couple of years, and I'm currently in Boca Raton, Florida. I'm a lawyer.
Exactly.
That's the easiest explanation. If you ask my husband, he's going to say my passion is looking for trouble. But I prefer to see as puzzle solving. It's about analyzing and dissecting situations, behaviors, probability, and at the end, get to a solution. I do that in my profession, but I also do that in my life. I do have that tendency to try to understand every single thing to see how things can be done in a better way. So he will say trouble, I will say puzzle solving.
Your entire education is in the field of law, right? So after you have all those years of education and practicing law, I would imagine it's hard to just turn it off.
I think it's also part of my personality. That's something that I learned later, but I think it's a combination of who I actually am and how this is useful on the field that I decided to go for.
How many years have you been actively practicing law?
Over 15 years. I've been through all the ups and downs and twists and turns, changed directions, went through all the crises, right? When you want to give up of everything and start doing something new, or decided, thank God I came to this path. I'm very grateful for the entire journey.
What is your favorite part of your role?
Favorite part of my roles. I like to think outside of the box. I'm not that preconception of lawyer that is going to go to the lawsuit. That's the first resort and they're going to win the fight. I don't want the fight. I want to think how I can solve the situation and how can I fix the situation the most efficient way. That might not be a lawsuit. That might be a way to get things done without having to go to that direction.
Problem solver. We're starting to get deep, but I'm going to pull it back. Let's rein it back and get super light.
Super easy.
Super easy. What is your favorite food?
That is the easiest question I think you're going to ask me today. So, instant noodles, tomato flavor. I'm going to tell you, it's a
No.
specific one because in
I
Brazil,
I don't accept this
I'm
answer.
telling you, I'm a foodie. You know, I'm a foodie. I'm a
I
picky.
know you're exactly. I know you're a foodie, so instant anything.
I'm telling you, I'm a picky eater, but I'm a foodie. I love to go to nice restaurants and I also
Yes.
love the Costco hot dog. But these instant noodles, and there's a Brazilian version from a kid's popular comic book that it's called Turma da Mônica. I can eat that thing every single day. All my friends know about it. When I'm having a bad day, I start getting text messages saying, "So you're having noodles today?" I'm like, "For sure. That's how I'm gonna end my day with my cup of noodles, sitting on my bed, drinking my Coke and watching TV."
Well, now I know what to get you for your next birthday. I'll just get you a bunch of
Yes.
noodles de Monica, right?
The Brazilian one. Thank God they have it here. You can go to the Brazilian supermarket,
And
and
they
I
have
always buy them all. I have friends that they go to the supermarket and say, "Oh, you already came, right? Because there's no
because there's no
noodles
more.
left."
I can't believe it from such a foodie. Okay, I accept your answer. What is your favorite book?
I was a reader before, and then I had kids, and things changed. I do have to read some of those at night, and I'm like, "Oh,
Yes,
do I want to do this?" Right now, I read a lot for work. I spend most of my day reading
true.
things. So at night, I just want to watch TV, and I do have a special book. When I moved here, I was still working on my English. One of the things that I did in the afternoon was going to Barnes and Nobles and choosing a random book and reading a paragraph. I would do different books. I would do biography books and different styles of books, different styles of reading. So I could get used to different types of English and sentence structures. There was this book that I opened one day and I read the first chapter. I loved the book. And next day I read the second chapter and the third day. So after a week, I have read the entire book and then I bought it. After this week, I need
It
to
was
have
worth.
it because I
Yeah,
read the
exactly.
entire book here. It's called The Last Day of My Life from Jean
Okay.
Moret. It's an analysis of a guy that it knows that he's gonna die and what he was gonna do on his last day and what was important to focus on, if he wants to make things right or if he wants just to enjoy what he already knew was important to him. At the time, I was here by myself with my husband, but not with my family, learning a new language and getting used to a new country, and everything made so much sense.
Favorite place.
I'm going with Dorothy on this one. Dorothy got it right. There is no place like home.
Mm.
I do love to travel. I do love hotels, but I love my house. I love to spend time at my house. I love my room and to be secluded there. And I would not change for anything else.
Favorite school or school subject?
I'm reliving middle school. My older one just started middle school, and I'm currently enrolled in middle school too. I thought those
Yes.
years were done, but they're not. I hate homework more than ever. I think when I was a kid, I hated homework, but right now I do hate homework.
The
After all
passion,
this
it feels.
experience, I can say for like with certainty that I'm a math person.
Yes.
Math is my thing. I know what I'm doing there. He asked me for help, and I'm like, oh, this is so easy. I know this one. Just move this here, move this there. This is here, this is there. This is the easier way to go. I'm having fun with math again.
What is your favorite sport?
This is the hard one. Food is the easy one. Sport is the hard one. I do love them all. We
Okay.
are a tennis family. My boys play tennis. My TV is going to be on and there's a tennis game. We are watching that thing from Thursday to Sunday, games in the morning, the afternoon, at evening. We are watching them all. I was a swimmer when I was younger. I swam. I do love Olympic Games. When Olympic Games is on, I'm watching gymnastics and diving and I'm disagreeing with the scores at the end. I'm like, no, that movement was perfect. I have my own opinions about it. We watch basketball, we watch volleyball. I'm Brazilian, right? I do love soccer.
I
Soccer
was
is in
gonna
my
say,
blood. But I'm also American, so I cannot imagine a Sunday without football. I love them all.
but
To be honest, there's one that I do hate, and it's baseball. You're not gonna see me sitting for a
really?
baseball game. I even prohibited the boys to try it. I let them try sports until they
Yeah.
know what they like. They try hockey. We watch hockey. They do golf.
Let's take it back to law. Most interesting type of law.
I have two answers for that one.
Okay.
If you think on the personal connections, I would say family law. In family
Mm.
law, you can sit with a client that comes to you telling you that he needs help with a divorce because they're having the worst time of their life, but they're still wearing their wedding band. And they're going to tell you
Mm.
all the private and personal details and stories. After an hour, you're a lawyer, you're a friend, you're a therapist. It's for the personal connections. I family law will be very interesting. But for the intellectual part, I do think it's contracts. I love the mental exercise, like using the words strategically to get to where you need things to go, or the negotiations, reading the opposite side and trying to figure out what they want, why they want, and how you can get what you want, how to make them accept what you want. I think it's more with my passion to solve problems. So that'll be
Yes.
the one for me.
Thing to do when you're not practicing law.
I'm an Uber mom. That's basically where I spend most of my time.
I
It's
love that.
driving my kids to one place for another, sitting in parking lots. You saw me already in parking lots. We already
Yep.
have this connection in parking lots. Having my computer on, reading emails, and sometimes even doing calls while they're jumping from swimming to Kumon to golf. And I'm there sitting and driving. It's not fun. I get a lot of back pain and I complain a lot on a daily basis at the house. But I also think it's an opportunity to be with the boys and they can tell me what's going on their life. Very informal environment. So what happened at school, what a friend did, what a friend didn't do, why he didn't like something, what they ate. So it's not good, but it's good.
I know that you're an incredible lawyer, but you're also an incredible mom. And I know that being there and having that family experience every day is incredibly important. Quote for life, if you have one.
I thought a bit on that one. I have quotes that I think are inspirational, usually from people I admire. There is a Brazilian driver, F1 driver, Ayrton Senna. My husband is a fan. My older son is a fan. We hear about a lot about him at the house. There are some sport coaches from Brazil, usually related to work and discipline and how things need to be done. Always depends on what's happening in your life at that time and what makes sense at the
Sure.
time. But I do have one that survives throughout the years. Every time I remember that one, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. It's from a Brazilian author, Paulo Coelho. He say, life is too short to be small. I think I'm a very intense person. So that comes like with the way I like to live my life, like big and go all the way because life is short.
I totally agree. That's you. That you just
Right?
exude. You have a big personality. Everything you
Fits
do
me.
is big. Go big or go home, like they say in
Yes.
Texas.
Fits well. So I
So
think that's the
life
one.
life is too short to go small,
Life is too short to be small.
to be small. Love it. So many levels. Let's talk about law. What made you want to get into the field of law?
I was going to be a doctor. I was preparing myself to be a doctor. After 15 seasons of ER, I could see myself saving lives with George Clooney in a random hospital anywhere. That's what I was going for. In Brazil, it's a little different than here. You have to choose the field you're going to when you finish high school. We have this big test. You need to apply for the test at the university you want to attend, and you need to select the field you're going to. I was 100% sure I was doing medical. I'm going there. One day at my last year of high school, I was sitting in a classroom, was a physics classroom with this teacher. We had no connection. He was not special to me. I don't think I was special to him. I was not the best student on that subject. I was always a good student, but physics, I was okay. There was nothing special on that relationship. But for some reason he decided to come to me and say, "Hey, Miss Barreto, what you're doing for your vestibular," that it's how the test is called. I said, "Oh, I'm gonna be a doctor." He's like, "What? No, you're not. You're going on the wrong direction. You're a lawyer. Like you should go for legal." I'm like, why
Ah.
do you think you can tell me I'm going on the wrong direction? But that comment stuck with me for the following weeks. I started thinking and rethinking. What did he meant by that? Lawyer. What do I have that a lawyer needs? I started like analyzing. I had someone that I worked with at that time. My parents hired one of those consultants to help you decide what you want to do for your life. I was 17. I had no idea what I wanted to do for my life. I started talking to her and doing some personality exercises and learning more about the legal field. When you do the application in Brazil at that time, we went to the post office. Went to the post office with my application. There was still a blank on the field. When I got there, I'm like, I'm going with legal. And I chose law school. I submit my application. I took the test and I passed on my
And you got
first
in?
try. I had to change my TV. I started watching Law and Order and Suits, and I have to change a little bit what I was doing.
I think you'd be an amazing doctor as well. I think you just help people in a different way.
That's the thing. I think every single thing you do, you need to make sure you're happy doing it. Even for the legal field, if I'm not the courtroom lawyer, that's not how I like to spend my time with the formatted templates. I like to be involved on a more decision-making type of the process. In any area you choose to go, you can find what you're good at and use that on that direction.
Your parents thought to hire someone to do that kind of personality analysis. I think that your personality is so perfectly matched for what you're doing. So if you're going to do something that's easier in life that you could excel at quicker, maybe help more people in the long run, I think you found it.
When you're 17, and that happens a lot because in Brazil, everyone needs to choose at 16, 17, 18. Most people start studying something and they gave up midway and they need to change it. For example, my husband, he started with administration, then he graduated in psychology, then he did
Hmm.
finance. So people move around because they have to choose so early. Here
Right.
you have those couple of years that you go kind of generic. I think that helps a bit. It is common in Brazil when you're on those final years of high school to have someone to walk you through the process and explain to you what a lawyer does. Most of the times you not even know. You can
Yeah.
go to law school and not be a lawyer. You can go so many directions with that.
Did you know anyone growing up who was also a lawyer that maybe you were able to emulate, look up to?
I do have an experience. I have a close friend, she's a childhood friend. We were born a month apart. We were neighbors. We did a bunch of things together while growing up. Her grandfather was very recognized in the field of law. He was a judge. He grew up in the profession. It was so funny because when I started law school, the first book that they told me to buy was one of his books because he has an entire collection of books. The entire country study civil law through his books. I'm like, I know this is grandpa. It was so familiar to me and they always treat me as family. So he was someone that inspired me and I had as a guide of what to expect. But it was also like, I'm reading grandpa's book. He learned about it. He sent me the entire collections of books and signed my books. He has one daughter that's still working in a high position in the legal field in Brazil. They always are there to support me. I know I can count on them anytime I need.
Between grandpa and the physics teacher in high school, we really have to thank them for setting you on the right path.
The random physics
It's
teacher, he
true.
would change my life on a small comment in a regular school day. He was paying attention, even though I
Yeah.
didn't see him as like inspired or one of the popular ones. He was paying attention, and that showed how great of a teacher he was.
Teachers are amazing for just being leaders and getting us, on our way. Speaking of getting on our way, how did you get started as a lawyer?
I experienced a lot. I went to different areas of the field. I work with a judge in criminal law. I work with a prosecutor in family law. I work with a boutique firm on civil cases. But when I came to the US was when I started getting involved and getting in touch with this more business type of like field, more related to the business decision, the transactions, and that was something that like the commercial side that caught my attention. I'm also an international lawyer, so eventually you're gonna get dragged to immigration. I did that for a while, and I can do that, but I would not love to do that. That's something that it's not does not excite me a lot. I have been around. I have been experienced different areas. And the plan was to go back to Brazil, right? I got here and I realized there is this whole new world that I could be exploring. And that was it.
How did you transition from practicing all these different types of law in Brazil, from family law, commercial law, international law, then to the US?
The decision to come here, I say to everyone, was based on lack of credibility. Again, I started law school when I was 17. I graduated, I was 21, almost 22. I was this young girl that just graduated law school. That's what I felt. I felt people did not trust me. I would say something and they were going to look at me and they were like, what do you know? I had those looks pretty often. The legal field, as many other fields, are predominantly male, especially the heavy names, those big names that everyone recognizes. And that has a weight. People respect those names, even though sometimes they're not even the ones doing the work, but they are recognized names. I was like, what I'm going to be doing here? How I'm going to get clients to trust me and pay me so I'm moving forward in my profession. I said, you know what? I'm going to go to the US. We already was with my husband at the time. He was not my husband. He was my boyfriend. He was coming to do a master's here. And we said, let's go. Let's live abroad. Let's have that experience. Let's do a master degree. That's always a plus. Bring some weight to my resume when I decided to come back, maybe to pursue a public career, maybe try a judge test or a prosecution, something on those lines. Those have some weight when it's international master degree. Let's go and study a bit, get that experience, get that extended knowledge and that weight. Let's come back and see what to do. Then life got in the way. I came here, life happened. One thing left to another, and I stayed. I had got great opportunities. I work with great companies. I had very nice mentors, people that helped me to see a completely different area that I could tackle and I could be good at. And I stayed. I'm happy here.
I'm happy that you're here. That's how we know each other. So I'm so happy that your stop where you ended up is South Florida. And the whole legal community is as well. So what is your most memorable or proud moment while working?
Before I give you that, I'm a person that focus on the bad. I'm the person that focus
No,
on
you're
what goes
not.
wrong. I'm gonna say it's not because I'm a negative person. I might be a little bit, but it's because I'm determined to make things go on the right direction. If something
Okay.
went wrong, I need to analyze. I need to understand. I need to make sure that that's not gonna repeat. We're not gonna make that mistake again. We can make another one, but
Okay.
that one,
That's
that's
fair.
not gonna happen again.
So so what was your worst
No, I
memory
do.
of working in your field?
I do focus. I remember one day I was doing a contract negotiation, a big contract negotiation. We're expanding a new business arm in the corporation.
Okay.
I realized that I had messed up. I missed a no in an entire paragraph that will make the entire sentence look completely different. We were giving them everything that we could not give them. We were negotiating for months and they said, "Oh, we are fine with this version." I'm like, "Yes, because I messed up." That was no sleep night and it was Hong Kong. There was a lot of hours discrepancies. That was a very bad mistake. Those happen. I have a very good friend that has been my boss. She was one of my first bosses here in the US. She tells me,
Uh-oh.
"That's just work. We can fix it. It's not your life. That's a work problem and you need to separate work problem from real problems." We were able to fix that thing. So I do focus on the bad and what went wrong, but I do have my proud moments too. I think when you get a visa approved, that it's a celebration moment. And when on you're those like long and excruciating negotiations and you're able to finalize it, that's something that is going to change the entire company direction and is going to build up the company value. That's very, very rewarding. I don't need to be awarded like big celebrations, but when I do something and someone just come and say, "I'm seeing that you're doing hard work and I see like your determination, your discipline, your commitment," I do feel great about it. I feel great when I'm afraid to do something or I'm doing something that I know I'm not good at or I might not succeed at and I'm able to finish. I always give me like a pat on the shoulder and like, "Yay, I did it." It goes both ways.
I think you're being very humble right now. I guess that means I know too much, but I know that there's so much to be proud of. I know that, my friend, you do really hard things and make them look easy.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
very proud of you and everything that you do.
Suspicious, suspicious.
You really have this like legacy of excellence that everybody, has their things that they strive to do better at and they do hard things every day and we get past our fears and move forward and accomplish these amazing things. In a field that you said that big names are perhaps male or perhaps have gray hair or whatever, here you are as this amazing
And
woman
there's
lawyer.
always a way.
The way,
There is
right.
always a way. You figure out a way to make things work.
You are a very good communicator.
I'm
So
a strategic
that's
person,
a
right?
strategic person. Exactly. Say you were that person who consulted with you back then at 17. What kinds of personality traits or characteristics do you think would help a young person looking to become successful in the field of law?
Consider that my career is based on unsolicited advice. I do enjoy giving people advice. So
Love
let's
it.
do this. I'm going to say that regardless of the field, the main advice I'll give to young people, everyone can do their own thing and be better on it. I don't need you to follow me on what I'm doing because this works for me, might not work for you. I try to guide them and say, "Hey, this is what I think. Take a time, think about it, see what makes sense for you." I feel that this new generation, they don't have enough commitment. That's the big word for me. Discipline and commitment. Life is hard. Push it and you will get through it. Keep going
Mhm.
and things will happen. You're going to have to do things that you don't want to do, that you feel are beneath what you're supposed to be doing. That's life. That's how it goes. You do have to do all of that. to eventually get to the place that you can choose what you want to do. Don't think because you graduated that you're ready to do what you want. No, you might be still doing things that you don't want to do it, like being treating sometimes when you're in a big firm, like a secretary or a paralegal. Just push it and do
Mhm.
the work and have the commitment. If they ask you for something, do what they ask you for. Try to see how you can be helpful. What can I do to make the life of my superiors easier? Because that means they need me. And if they need me, I have a job. It's the advice I'll give it to them. As for characteristics and personality, you can have your personality and you can be you, do whatever you want to do and just do your way and you're going to find a way. I do start saying that they told me, oh, you're a natural lawyer. I think it's a preconcept idea that you need to be outgoing, but I know exceptional lawyers. They're quiet on their own and they do their thing on opposite way of the way I do things. And they're doing just fine.
Everybody has their own style. There's no preconceived personality traits that are going to lead to your success in this
I
field. You
don't
just
believe that. I
have to
believe you
love it,
can do
right?
whatever you want to do. I do believe if you want to do something, regardless of your personality, regardless of your experiences, if you decided that's what you want to do, you're going to find a way of doing that. Have that commitment and that discipline and the patience to go through it, be available.
Exactly.
Things happen. It sounds like cheesy, but it does. Things happen. Oh, there's
Moving to the US from Brazil midway through your career, what would you say to someone who's thinking about starting an LLM program? Could be directly after a JD or it could be, mid-career. Any words of advice on how to be successful in an
And
LLM
that
program?
experience was amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. That's the reason why you have people there that just got out of law school. You have people there that have been in the field for years and deciding to come and do something different. We had different nationalities. People from South America have a similar background than mine, but also different realities because we are so diverse in South America. We have the Europeans, we have people all over the place. And mixing here in the US, the system is completely different. We are code based. You guys have the common law. That experience was very colorful. The language is also the first barrier that you have. I tell everyone I'm not embarrassed to be wrong and I just speak. I can be saying everything wrong and having all the verbs in the wrong position but I'm going to raise my hand and I'm going to answer that question. If you don't understand me, I'm going to explain and I'm going to try to make you understand me. I'm going to be part of it and I'm going to be intense. The main thing I can say is have an open mind. If you come after years of experience working on your home country and you come here and you're like, oh, that's not how I do it. I wouldn't do it this way or I'll do it that way. It's not going to be as rich for you as I think it was for me. I think you need to have your open mind and be ready to learn that you can do things in a different way. There's always a different way to approach things and use this opportunity to see how things are done for different people in different perspectives. And study a lot. You study a lot and drink a lot of coffee. I stopped drinking coffee for a couple of years. And then when I started my LLM again, my coffee came back and it's like in my life since then.
Yep, I totally agree. Especially with the school programs as an adult, you're like, that extra cup of coffee or tea, whatever,
I
could
need
really
that. I
help
need
right now. But anyway, you give such good advice. It's
that.
applicable to everybody. It's not just for a new lawyer. You have to be willing to make mistakes and learn from it and move past it and to push past that awkward phase where you're literally learning the language, a new country's culture, school system, legal system, whatever, starting something new. There's so much fear. Am I going to be good? Am I going to pass? Am I going to survive? Is this going to be worth the money that I'm spending?
The
There's so
doubt.
many fears. Am I going to make friends? Even as silly as that, am I going to fit in?
Right? We're back in middle school. I'm
We're
telling you, we are
back in
reliving
middle
middle school.
school.
I remember something. I do have a very proud moment on my LLM journey.
Yes.
We had this constitutional class and everyone had to take the constitutional class because it's
Okay.
completely different.
Yeah.
Because it was our first round of exams, she decided to give us like a mock midterm exam. We know how the exams works and how a midterm looks because you have a bunch of classes that you do with regular 1Ls and 3Ls. That was a way of the teacher to say, hey, you guys are international students. This is a class you need to do on the master's degree. But let me give you like a heads up of how things work here. So we did the mock exam and the following week she brought two examples of answers of the mock exam, the best two, because everything here is about the curves and who did best of the better than.
True.
It's not about getting right. You need to get better than someone else. It's something that I also learned here. She chose the best two and she brought the best two for us to read the answers. She started going with us during class and she answered the first one. One of my friends that sit next to me, she's like, "That's yours." And I'm like, "What?" I started flipping the pages. I'm like, "That's me." There was me and there's
Yay!
another student that was from England. I'm like, I won because English is her first language. I'm
Yes.
here doing this in another language. So I'm the best one here. I don't care what you say. But I was so proud, not because I was the best. I joke around with that, but like, hey, I can do this.
Beginning of your program and your paper is pulled as one of the exemplary ones. Look, I don't think anything can hold you down. You speak and work in 3 languages. If you're doing this in English right now, Spanish, Portuguese, whatever, I think you can learn anything and do anything you want around the world.
I think I'm reaching my top. Like I'm good with learn. No, I'm not. We need to learn. We need to keep improving, right? At least with languages, AI can help a lot now. I can get a rest.
But the way that you are able to understand the law and write in 3 different languages and it's an amazing talent. I'm not surprised at all that your paper was picked as the
I was
best
so proud. That
one.
was a proud moment. Yeah, if you think of
Amazing.
that, was like, oh, it was validation, right? As you said, I left my country. I was here with my husband, but my family was there and getting used to even going to the supermarket. How do I buy ham or butter? What is the butter that I'm gonna like? You're on trial for everything. That was like, yeah, I think it was a good choice. I think we're gonna be fine.
Like a small win. Everybody needs one every now and
Mhm,
then. Oh, a little validation to know that you are taking a baby step
mhm.
forward. Talked about advice for a new international lawyer or do you
I
into
can give a device on
practice?
that one for the international lawyers if they decided that they're coming to the US. The main thing is get qualified. It is a reality. Go through the LLM process. Bar exam makes a lot of difference for you to be able to work here. But I also think that it's important to use your international background in your favor. Focus on areas that you can add value with your international experience and be patient. The transition will take a while. You need to be patient. You need to gradually build that credibility. You need to build knowledge and experience and networking. Nowadays, everything's about networking. Build step by step and things will happen.
This might be too much. You tell me. You're the lawyer. Any legal insights to share with business leaders looking to protect themselves?
Experience, this is what I will tell my team and people that I work close by is stop seeing your lawyer as a problem. Start looking at your lawyer as an ally. I'm not here to make your life more complicated, to make the transactions more complicated or slow things down. I'm here to help. Make sure you involve them in the business decisions, why you want to go on that direction, why that opportunity is so important for the company, what the company will win on that opportunity, why you want things to like to move quick. We are able to move things quick if we know what's going on. So participate your lawyer on your decisions on the business side of it. They can make you get where you want to be in a more efficient and safe way. See, a
Simple to
lot of
me.
advice. We need to start giving other like what are you gonna tell a person that is looking for a husband? We can give advice all day.
You do have an amazing husband and 2 amazing kids too. We could probably talk just about middle
I can do
school.
that one. How to be mean to your kids so they are good,
So they're scared to get all A's in middle
so they
school.
do everything they need
Do
to do.
everything perfect, exactly. We already talked about your physics teacher. We talked about grandpa and the legal books he wrote. Any shout outs to team members? Could be kudos for their great work or people who have helped you.
We cannot start like naming specific people because I will forget and then everyone is gonna be upset. But I did cross paths with very important people. Like I do
Exactly.
appreciate all the help I got through my career. The prosecutor I work with on the family law, he taught me so much and mainly how to deal with those personal interactions and how to see through very tough subjects, like sitting in a courtroom, hearing very heavy testimonials. I learned so much with the people that I work here too. I have very great mentors. I have mentors that challenge me and I felt very mad about it because I'm like, why they're doing this to me? And you feel angry and you hate them. But when I sit and I look back and I say, thank God this person came to my life because she made me so much better what I was planning to be. I have great people that came here and said, I'm going to hold your hand. I'm going to walk you through it. I'm a teams person. I think that's why I like sports so much. I do like to work in a team. I do like to have people. There is a space to everyone. I do believe that I do like to win and be the best, but I want to win and be the best that I can be. I don't want to be better than anyone else. If you need me, you know that I'm here. What do you need from? Just say how high and I'll jump. If I like you, if I trust you, if I feel you're in my corner, or if you need me, because I do have those people too. I will jump because that's my personality. Thank you to all of them, from the physics professor to my current boss that it's always telling me, oh, you are making me feel unuseful. I'm like, oh, I'm glad you're here. I make your life easier. That's why I'm here. My kids need to do sport. It's a way to connect with people when they're playing a game and someone is not doing that well. I'm like, go there and make that kid feel that he's part of the team and it's not on him, it's in all of you. It's not your success, it's your all success. These are like life lessons. You need to teach them. I think my parents did that well. They did teach me that through the sports. I think that I'm a better professional because of that.
What are the best ways to get in touch with you or your firm for legal counsel?
If you follow me online, you're going to see a lot of related content. It's because we live abroad, right?
That's
I
life.
live in the US, my family is in Brazil. But as you mentioned at the beginning, you can go to the floridabar.org website. There's a special tab for foreign legal consultants. And you're going to be able to find me there. I'm always here for advices or for anything you need from me.
Yes, absolutely. Next time we'll have to continue with the advice and
We should do
oh
a
my
special
gosh,
segment.
a special,
Ask a
agree.
question and we can go from there.
We'll have to do it over lunch. As long as it's not the top ramen stuff that you're eating, we can
I'm
do it
telling
over a
you, you
foodie
need to.
lunch.
So let's do ramen next time you come, and you're gonna tell me if I'm not right. I just want to say thank you. I'm very happy to be here. When you first invited me, I'm like, what I'm gonna talk about? Why would people want to hear what I have to say? Because we go there. We as women and moms, we go there. Thank you for having me. I had a lot of fun. I like to analyze. As soon as you give me a question about what is your passion, I'm like, ooh, what is my passion?
Ooh.
I'm actually exercising my passion or not.
Exactly.
You know how to explore the best from people and put light on it and expand that to the world. I do admire that.
I admire you in a big way. You're able to get over little bits of self doubt, whether it's saying yes to do a podcast or it's getting through moving to a new country or a new program where you're literally taking your career and opening your mind to the possibilities. You have to be so smart to do what you did and to get through it.
I say a lot to my boys. It's not that I'm smart or things like that. I'm just willing to do the work. No matter what it is, I am willing to do the work. Even if I'm afraid to do something, I don't let my fear to stop me. I just try to
Exactly.
figure it out how I'm going to do that in a way that I'm comfortable with. I might not be able to do it all, but find mechanisms to go to pass that situation that scares me a little bit. And I hope that people that are listening to us can like have that as an incentive to start looking at the situations a little differently.
I totally agree. To see that you can do hard things.
Mhm.
If there's three things talent, attitude, and a willingness to work hard.
If you can have very talented players, they're not going to get anywhere. You can have very committed players that are going to get somewhere because they're committed and they're putting the work. If you have a talent player that is committed, they go all the way.
Agree.
So find your talent, commit to it, and wait for it.
I learned so much from you. Arielle, thank you so much for your time today. I look forward to the next chat.
Part two. We need to
Part
find
two.
something for part two.
Have a wonderful day.